We now return to Let's Play Timberborn. Apparently I'm just being stupid, and I had the wrong end. Unfortunately, this means that it is a thing that has to be in the water. Again, meaning that this is not really tenable. This means that they have to walk very far away. So, once again, I'm left kind of baffled by how they intended you to lay out your settlement. Because you need the people to be somewhat near their work area. So maybe these would have been better off just down here, and I don't know. I really don't. Where are we at here? Social life needs to be a little bit more social. We are, of course, full of this, so I will need to build another one somewhere. I'd like them to finish building this first, but they're going to require lots of planks, which require lots of logs. We have lots of logs, so I don't really know what's going on there. I guess planks are going to that first, that's why. Which is good, because once we get a hauler, I'm hoping that will kind of help us out a little bit. We got one of the gatherer. Okay. Well, I'm not really sure what this beaver is doing. Okay, well. I guess it's good just because it means that this beaver can stay doing whatever it's doing. And I don't have to worry so much. Almost up to another level in my science. So while this has got all the logs for it, so why don't we start establishing more elsewhere? Should I put this down here maybe? Sure. Alright, we got 2 more beavers on the way. Which means we're going to need some people. Or some houses, rather. Just went up to level 6. That's good. So why don't we... I need 120. Why don't we go ahead and get started on that? I would also, if we don't get too much further, I would like to have the scaffolding thing completed, so that we can at least see what doing some double-decker homes looks like. I mean, it looks like what you could actually do, you know, this main building you start out with is a warehouse with a builder's hut on top of it. So I almost wonder if maybe I'm doing this wrong again with the sprawl, and what I should really be doing is having, you know, like basement level homes and warehouses, and then build the structures on top of that, and then just develop the community that way. Still not real solid on how to play this game, gonna be honest. Yeah, we don't need more than 2 at the moment. What we could do, I guess, is get the potato field started. Seeing a little bit of dip in food. So I could have that built up over here. Just have to be really cautious. These beavers consume more than your average beaver, so I've got to make sure I'm not letting that one go. I guess we can maybe do one less hauler here so that we have someone who actually can be here. I think we're just going to have to wait for one of the kids to grow up, honestly. Now, water pump, I mean, maybe we don't need that. Are we even able to keep water somewhere? I wouldn't imagine so. But I guess that just means that... Well, I'm not even really sure what that means, to be honest. We have water as a resource up in here. Okay, that one is full now. This one is also on its way. I just don't want to make it full of a lot of things that I may regret. Keeping a thing full of food is nice. But once again, I kind of feel like I'm coming to this problem. I mean, I guess I could just make a storage warehouse specifically for planks and or whatever gubbins I end up coming along with. We've got the material. More than enough of the material. Let's see where we're at here. Social life, bad. Nutrition, going down. I mean, social life's not bad, it's just not where I like it. Okay, and we finally have the ability to unlock the footbridge. So that'll take a lot of resources. Right, let's also come in here and do none of that. Actually, let's just empty. No? Okay, how about none? And then allow for plank, paper, gear, flour. So is this going to empty these? I don't know. Oops. Dang it. So plank, paper, flour, gear. Same thing here. Plank, paper, flour, gear. And woman, man. Wait, never mind. Okay. Well, still waiting on more people for the settlement. Just waiting on the two younglings, I guess, to grow up. I've now got the potatoes down, so now I can have some grilled potatoes. Provided that works its way up. That'll get me a nutrition level 2. And then the next thing we need to do is work towards, I guess, the temple. Actually, we can work towards some aesthetic, so let's... yes? Let's do that, and... I mean, I don't know. It has a direct impact there, but I don't know if I actually need it to be something that they walk by, or if one is just enough. Okay, we're running short on A little bit of timber there. And we are running low on food again. Unreachable trees. Who could I take away from? Probably take one off the lumberjack. Well, maybe not, now that we've actually got some. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I actually don't know. There's not really anyone I can remove. I do know that we'll need another house, though. Well, once again, I've found myself up against the unfortunate limitations. I need more people. We are at maximum here, too. Okay, I'm watching that food balance. Our berry-carrot ratio has improved markedly. I'm trying to keep it around 400. That seems to be a pretty good amount. But we're quite far on this temple. So again, I'd like to put down another science hut, but I don't have the people, and I just there is a constant and continual problem here where I can't get enough people. So really, beyond, I mean, how did we even get to level 8 is a question I would like the answer to, because I don't know how I did that previously if this is where we're at. I guess I can lower down on 1. And maybe that's what you're supposed to do. Maybe there's supposed to be these lulls in activity that over time you just kind of let things regrow and rebuild, and it's just meant to be a lot more careful, casual, cautious. This gatherer really isn't doing anything out here. So maybe I should turn that off out there and turn this one on instead. And do a big gather here. Because we're down to 300 now. So we're consuming a lot more. I hit level 7 and then immediately went away. Starting to get potatoes in, okay. No, carrots. Has this been done yet? Almost, almost. Then we can get the grilled potatoes, and then we can at least maybe get the second level of nutrition up. That'll be level 8. But we still need to get to somewhere else. And if I felt like I was in a good position food-wise, I would pull someone out of the fields. The temple space doesn't actually need somebody in it. It's just a communal area, so that's good. But, I mean, making another inventor would probably help a lot. Why hasn't this one been built yet? Because I don't have any new logs being chopped down. Okay, well, I'm going to turn you down to 1. We are a little bit of a crisis here with the housing shortage. Maybe I should bump this back up to 2. I was going to swap over and build another one of these, but if I can't even build a house, so there's no way I can build another science lab. Just hit level 8. Is that with our potatoes? Yes, it is. So, okay. I see. We need monuments for the awe. Okay, our food now is kicking up a little bit. But I'm still concerned that it's not growing here. So I may need to end up having another collector over this way. Yeah, you know, in hindsight, this is too far away. I thought maybe I'd expand it up here. And I may yet do that. I may have to. But I feel like keeping it more central is still... I don't know, it's a tough call. It's a tough call because there's just... I'm not really sure. I guess I need to pay more attention to the radii of the buildings. Because the more time your people are traveling is the less time that they're doing work. But maybe that's not such a big deal with these beavers because they work later and they need like 1 hour of sleep a night or something. So maybe I'm looking at that wrong. Okay, now I've got 2 jobless. We do have a house. I think it's time to build up another factory here. And what's our social? Our social's good. So 2 of these seems to be enough. Still not even halfway to unlocking the temple. It's a little bit annoying. What about this? 90? I could unlock scaffolding. Who do I have underserved here? I mean, I can make another hauler, builder. Why are you going that far? Why not here? There's still... Okay, well, it doesn't have much room. I guess that answers that question. Got a lot of planks in here. That one has been a busy beaver. I could make another... I think we're fine on the food. In fact, I think we're fine on all resources, it seems like. So right now, I need to worry more about getting... I don't know, should I build another scientist? Because the temple doesn't require a person. Printing press requires paper. So how do I get paper? Paper mill. I'm gonna guess paper mills. Yeah, paper mill needs plank. Oh my god. So we need to turn the planks into gears, and then we need the gears to turn into paper, so that we can then bump up to get ourselves a printing press to satisfy knowledge. I mean, how many categories do we have here? 5. Yeah, so really, we would need to get all except the awe in order to complete the unlock. All I really want is that temple. I just want it because it's relatively easy. And now we're full on storage for food there too. I'm okay with that. I think we can be fine with the food. In fact, if that is the situation, it means I can end up taking away from the fields, perhaps. So that might actually be good. Okay, we do have a couple of haulers moving things around. Well, I mean, it's an interesting little game. I'm curious to see how they'll develop it further. I do kind of like the idea of the modular buildings where you can build on top of each other. That's a neat touch. But I think my biggest complaint is just that the numbers need balancing. You know, it costs too much to build certain things, and I feel like some of the stuff is just out of whack for the ease to get to it, you know, to build it, or to you know, how many beavers this will cover, and you know, it just, you need to build a lot, and you don't really have the resources for that, at least not early on. I mean, right now we're pretty full on our wood here, and I mean, it's, even though this is not it's not even halfway. But I understand that a lot of that decision making is probably just because there is a limited amount of content. Really, you know, patience would be enough to complete the game, basically. So in order to artificially stretch that out, the numbers seem to be skewed so that it does take you a while. Whereas in other games, this would not take you that long to get to. But I don't know. I hope that they can kind of figure out a little bit more content to put in here and balance the numbers a little bit so it actually feels like you're going somewhere. And it would be nice also if they did have, you know, I'm sure they're anticipating things like clothing, gear, whatnot. Like I say, stone, you know, for the mountains that are around. I'm sure there's something expected to do with that. Although I don't know about how I feel with that. I mean, a beaver-themed city builder, you would expect to be very wood-based. But I could see these guys in like little tunics and hats and whatnot, made out of reeds that you, or grasses. You know, as you collect the bushes, it gives you berries and grass that you can use to weave into, like, I don't know, building decoration, like a tapestry or something, or use the berry juices for paint or something like that. Vegetable juices, like a press that you can press your various things into and make color or something. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a fun little game. It just needs to be developed more. Okay, we're finally ready for a temple. But I have to say, as far as just a casual city builder, something that's nice and relaxing, this is pretty good. I do actually like the fact that there is not a challenge. I mean, the goal, obviously I'm expecting them to add a lot more goals, but for right now that's enough. Just basically a goal to expand is really enough. And even if they did the unlocking in this, like unlocking building decorations or different types or paints or the ability to do whatever, that'd be fine too. If the goals of the game was to just unlock more stuff, because game design wise that increases replayability. If it was not for the fact that I could unlock these other beavers and have a goal given to me, you'd run out of the game pretty quickly. So as much fun as it is for a player to sort of set their own goals, it is nice to actually have real goals just to give you some direction, even though the goals are really more, well, they're optional. I mean, you don't have to have them, and in fact it's a little bit more of a pain to have them sometimes, just because these beavers have different requirements, and the fancy beavers, I forget what they needed like a certain level of happiness or something, like the decorations or whatever, like they need a special environment or something. But tweaking some of the things, like the fact that it requires so many damn planks and you've only got one person in one building producing one plank, adding a few more to increase the production would be nice. I mean, if you can have 4 builders, I don't really understand why you can't have like 2 carpenters, especially with the pain that it is to set this up. I do like the idea of the power system, but it seems like that's the only building that requires it. These require power, but I'm not going to set up a whole bank of carpenter mills just to pump out planks, mostly because there's no point in doing so, because you don't have the resources to turn into planks. I mean, you run out of the logs so quickly. I would have to set up another little logging company or colony out here in the neighborhood and all that, which is also something that baffles me a little bit. I mean, this is a pretty good sized map, I feel, just based upon this. I'm not really sure how easily sustainable it is to grow the little villages, just given how much of a pain it is. Going back to the costs, it just costs so much to have a warehouse out here that they'll bring all their food and materials to, with its own log pile and its own houses, and like just to get a resource neighborhood or colony, you pretty much have to have a whole city up and running to get that, and then you can't even get your people. Actually, we are actually very full on people right now. Okay, which is, I guess, why my food is going down so drastically. I wasn't paying attention to this at all. So I don't know what's going on here. It seems like beavers are just moving in. But it means that I could fill in all of this stuff. Now I've got 8 jobless, but I would also actually like to get to that. Let's just look at scaffolding real quick. So I'm assuming to get up to here. Oh, good, it can go over the roads. Okay, well that was one thing that I was kind of concerned about. That's good. That's good actually, because then you can just make like an overpass sort of thing for a walkway. Let me unpause this. Yeah, I didn't think I'd have enough for stairs. So if I want to make this, it's going to have to. Well, let's actually make one. It's going to have to use that as the uprights, the upway. Let's see this be built, and then I want to put a house down on top. Let's get some builders going, please. And we can probably do a couple haulers. And we're out of logs because of carpentry problems. That's out of range. I mean, I guess I could put another setup out here. Lumberjack flag. Doesn't really do a lot for me there. I just don't want it so far away from the, you know, from the storage. Yeah, I know. No log pile in range. Well, I mean, there's one right there. So your problem's not having a log pile. Which itself just requires builders. Well, I just want to get this little scaffolding up and make a second story real quick, just to see. But now, actually, okay, no, it actually blocks this off. That's probably why they're not continuing this. It's going to block off our pathways. Oop. And now they can't get to this building, right? Okay. See, now that's something I do have a problem with. It's an extension, but you can't build, like, covered walkways between your buildings. So this is bad because I just blocked off everything here. So having just platform would be nice. Something you can actually make like a sky bridge rather than that. Because otherwise now my alternative would have to be coming up the backside and all. But, you know, you live and learn. Did we get anywhere near? We almost got near having 9. But, yeah, still far away from getting to 11 to unlock the last beavers. Which, again, at the moment, it's kind of questionable whether that's actually worth it. But, anyway, I think it's time to end this one here. So, that has been Timberborn. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next Let's Play.